Hello, Duranis here. Welcome back to Factorio. So yeah, today we're getting quite big now in the factory, and yeah, it's not doing too bad actually. The resources still coming through okay, although we're kind of on the edge of what we're doing. So just have a quick look at the last minute. So we're using more copper than what we're producing, but we haven't really got as big a copper set up as what we have the iron, which is what we're going to be fixing today. Iron consumption is actually fairly low. Everything else is more or less balanced. I'm going to be upgrading electronic circuit reduction and all this stuff as well, so I can upgrade these later on, so that's going to use a ton more resources, so I really need to get that sorted now, and especially the iron, the copper, because eventually I'm going to burn through my sort of spare reserve of copper. So we've got 48k now, but that won't last forever. So what I'm going to do is actually upgrade all of our smelting and get some train stations built so that we can start having multiple trains that can come in. Our copper down here is starting to run out as well, so we need to sort of be prepared for that, although it's not really providing a whole lot at the moment. Yeah, actually I said our copper production wasn't the same as our iron, but it's exactly the same. But it's still getting to the point, why is it not split? Okay, so that could be part of the problem as well, is that this is sort of the whole issue I have with my smeltery setup at the moment, is it's sort of routed as and when I've sort of needed stuff in there, so it's not really planned out very well. So this actual setup here works just fine. Feeding the resources in and out is not so great, so that's one of the things that I'm going to work on. Basically what I want to do is double this up, so I want double the amount of iron production, double the amount of copper production, and that should see us good for quite some time to come. And then over here I'm going to have the train station, and we'll feed all the resources in, and I'll be able to accept multiple trains and feed the resources off them, so we can have multiple mines set up all over the place. I did think about using beacons with these, and basically what a beacon does, and I have one here, is if you put it down, see the area of effect around it, you can put it down, and then you can put productivity, well, you can put any modules in it apart from the productivity ones, so you can put the speed and efficiency ones in, and it will affect all of the buildings within that radius and give it that effect at half of its normal effect. So for example, if you put let's say this speed module in, which gives it a 20% speed upgrade if you put it straight into a machine. If you put a beacon down, it will give it a 10% upgrade, but it will affect everything in the radius. So you can come up with some quite cool designs. I had a quick look, and you could basically have that there, and then you could have furnaces all the way around it, so that would give you 9 furnaces that would be affected by it, which is okay. You could actually probably have more, because it doesn't have to be right in there. So if we, so just for the sake of experimentation, where can I put it? Yeah, just there. So for an example, you can have it right on the edge, and that would still be affected, so you could probably fit 4 along each side, I would guess, so maybe 12. I'd have to lay it out to see exactly, but that would be quite a good effect. But it'd also make it a bit of a mess, because you'd have to have the ore going all the way around the outside of this loop, and then you'd have to have all the resources going around this loop and being fed out, and it wouldn't be quite as streamlined as this. And if I'm doubling this up, I'm not really worried about speed, because it's going to have double this and it's going to be quick enough. And for power, I'm not really worried about reducing the power consumption on them either, because I can make infinite solar panels and I can just keep chucking them down, so not a huge issue there. Solar panels are actually fairly cheap at this point in the game. It's not too much of an issue to mass produce them. So yeah, that shouldn't be too much of an issue. So I've took a schematic of this here, and I should just be able to fit it on there. So I'm going to see if this actually works, and if it will feed the ores up far enough. It might not. It might be that the belt can't actually move it up that quickly. Now I'm going to have to move my robo ports around a little bit as well. I don't think that guy's actually connected to anything, so that should be fine. So yeah, let's chuck this straight down there. Is feeding the right way? Why are you not going down? Okay, that's interesting. It won't place it. It's because of the belts and bits at the bottom. Okay, so let's remake this. So I don't think I've shown this before, but if you want to clear one of these blueprints, basically pick up a green circuit and right click on it and it will clear it. So you don't have to make him every time. You can just clear old ones out. So I want to copy it flat onto there. That's good. And then to there. And let's just get rid of that. That'll do. Okay, so that fits in nicely. That's good. It's a bit of a pain. I've got to take the robo ports out of alignment, but that'll be okay. So I'm going to have to put one on that side and one on the other side just to make sure everything's covered with logistics chests. Although all the outputs are covered, so that's okay. Don't need to worry about the inputs. And what are you guys missing? Okay, that's fine. That'll make them. So we're going to do. Let's just give these guys a hand and connect that up. So I'm probably going to have to upgrade these belts in the middle. I'm not sure if just the red belts are actually going to be enough to get the ores all the way to the top when I do it like this. I prefer to have it laid out like this rather than sort of having like this half size and just doing it to the left, because then it makes it just easier to route all the resources in. So rather than having to split it 4 times, I've already got to split it twice, but I'm not sure if the belt capacity is going to be high enough or not to feed all of these. Seems to be okay. And that's just with the red transport belts, so that's cool. And again, I might have to upgrade the output belts as well. But this belt's sort of at its limit on what it can carry already, so that should be fine. And all these are running. These ones up here aren't, but is that because we haven't got enough resources? Yeah, we're just not getting enough resources coming in. But that's okay. That's all good. Okay, that all looks fine. Excellent. So that's doubled our iron capacity, well, once we get the input coming in. So let's just do the same over here for the copper. Where did I put it? There we go. Okay, I'm going to have to move this robo port. Let's pick that up. And let's pick these guys up. And we'll check this robo port back over here. Yeah, I can't really line them up nicely now, but that's fine. Let's put that there. And put this guy down here. Excellent. And power this one up. And I've got a bunch of construction robots there as well. Let's chuck them in. Let's have a quick look at the production values now. So, yep, that's looking good for the iron. We're up to 1,300. And that will increase once I sort this mess out here. it's basically not getting the ores into there quick enough. But hopefully once I get some of these joints out of here and sort of tidy it up a little bit, it should work better. And if I've got sort of things that are feeding off here, rather than feeding onto one belt, I could always feed it onto 2 belts and carry it across. So there are ways that I can fix that. And I'm missing some of them apparently. That's fine, I'll keep an eye on that. So yeah, next thing really is to clean up this section, because it's kind of a mess and it needs tidying up quite a bit. So let's have a look. These robot ports here are kind of in the way if I run it straight down. So the idea is I want to get the least amount of turns in it as possible. So for the copper, I want to bring these belts across to here, merge them all in, and then bring them down and across to here. And for the iron, I want to do the same. I want to merge them all into the centre, and then bring them straight down and across to here. Let's just see how this is going. So connect these guys up. And I'm going to have to actually stop the manufacturing of them previously, because I didn't think I'd need any more, but I must have miscalculated slightly, so I need 6 more of them. And I haven't got the resources on me to make them, so yeah, stop beeping at me. So yeah, let's just set this to 6. Actually, let's set that to 10. So we'll always keep 10 in the network, just because we might need them in the future. And yeah, go away. And right click, left click, and let's just swivel these back round. Okay, so that should be good. That'll make the 10 that we need. Well, the 6 that we need, and then some spares. Okie dokie. So yeah, I think I'm probably going to do this bit off camera, because it's going to be a lot of sort of clearing stuff out and just trying to sort of plan how I want it, how it's going to fit in. So it's a lot of putting stuff down and picking it up again. Which isn't going to be overly interesting to watch me fumble through that on camera. So yeah, I'll sort of get some kind of layout going here, and then I'll be right back. Got all of this laid out. Basically what I have is, like I was saying, 2 middle lines going down there, and then 2 outer lines are merging with them, and then it's just rebalancing amongst itself. So if one of these is getting more output than the other, it should rebalance it. And then I've got a double line running all the way down to our main line over here. So let's just connect this up again. And it's got a lot less corners in it now, so rather than it being all sort of snaky all over the place, it's just going straight down, straight out of the furnaces, and the only corners we've got are on these outer lines here, which is not a whole lot I can really do about that. It's just the way it is at the moment. Let's go and hook the ores back up over here. And that there, and that there. So we've got splitter here, so it's just been split into 2, so that should be fine. And then it's basically the same deal over here, and I've given myself enough space here that if I want to later on I can run in multiple ore lines, which might be a good idea, especially if we've got multiple train stops and we've got different mines going up. So if we've got sort of 3 or 4 mines putting ores into it, it might be better to have a separate line for each one, but we'll see how this goes. Let's just see how quickly this can load up. We might need to speed this belt up if it's not going to load all the way up to the top. So the iron one is getting up to here. So you can see these are completely backlogged, so it's not that the resources aren't there, it's just that they're not getting up here quick enough. So yeah, that's about as far as it's going to get at the moment. So let's speed these guys up a bit. And that way. And going to need more blue belts. Let's ask for 100 of them. Okay, that's that side done. And we still haven't sped up this line here, so it might not make a lot of difference to begin with until we actually get all of this sped up. And get some underground belts going here as well. Yep, I think that'll definitely help. I just need to get more speed belts going up here. Okay, so that's good all the way up to there. Apparently that's already all express transport belt. So limitation now then is not unloading quick enough. Which I'm not sure what we can really do about that, to be honest. That's okay. Once we get more mines going, at least we've got the capacity to deal with it. This is basically as much as we can do at the moment, just with this one drop-off point. The only way we could unload quicker would be to have more unloaders on the other side, which is probably a good way to go, actually. But I'll let these empty out a bit first, and once it's sort of balanced out, because it's all sort of a bit unrealistic at the moment. It's probably a good word to describe it, because I had everything cut off for quite a while, so it's just taken a while to catch back up again. Iron again, I think it's going to need to be sped up, so let's do that too. And I might as well speed it up, because once it's done I'm never going to have to worry about upgrading it, so that should be fine. Let's take them out. This one over here. And I'm going to have to wait some more belt again. I'll wait for that. Let's upgrade these two. Okay, that's already upgraded, so that's fine. Let's do that one. Okay, so that's that bit done. And now we've just got to go back this way. Oops. Let's just push that down there, that's fine. A few more of them, so let's do these ones. And I've sort of had to just do this for the moment just because this is the way it's set up. Once I get a proper train station set up, I won't have to worry about that, so that will be one less bottleneck in there as well. Speed that up. And looks like I didn't get all of them. Let's do them. And all that's already express. That's all express. Excellent. Okay, so that's about as fast as it's going to go. So we're not going to get it to go any faster than that. And again, it just looks like there's not quite enough resources on the belt. It's not at full capacity, I don't think. I think it's just that we haven't got enough stuff loading onto it at the moment. So let's go and take a quick look over here. Yeah, so none of these guys are actually getting backlogged, so it's not that they can't place items on there and just waiting for a spot. It's just that they're not pulling it out that quickly. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, once I get the proper train station set up, that's going to solve this problem here, because we're going to have unloading on both sides, so we won't just be limited to it will basically double the output speed of this, which then should cap out the amount of ore coming onto this belt. And from the looks of it, if we look at the iron, it's just over halfway, so if we're doubling the amount of ore coming in, which we might not quite do with these belts, but I think there's probably about the right amount of smelters. We might take a few off the top maybe, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, so that's good. Over here I just set up a little storage area, so I've got a bunch of storage chests and roboports. I'm going to put in the buffer storage and the loading up on these belts as well. But yeah, this is looking a lot better now. So you can see we've got, even though we're still using a ton of stuff, let's actually look at our production. So yeah, production for the last minute for iron and copper is about 1.4k, and we're using about 1.4k, well 1.5k of iron, but that's probably because this was all sort of turned off for a while and all the resources got eaten up, so that should all backlog and level out again fairly soon. And we're also making a ton of belt as well, which uses a load of iron, because that uses a ton of iron gear wheels, so yeah, that kind of explains all the iron being used too. But yeah, that's really cool. We've sort of doubled our capacity, and that's actually spiking up to sort of 1,800, which is pretty cool. We're still using a lot more at the moment, but like I said, we've made a lot of belt, so that uses a ton of iron. Let's have a look down here. So these are all quite full as well. So maybe wait for the train to come down here. That's good timing. Yeah, they're not unloading, loading fast enough. So let's just see if this all loads up. So interesting, the back train is not getting as many resources as the front one. Okay, that guy's done. These guys are done, I'll leave that there. Actually, there's still a little bit on there, let's leave that one there for the moment. And let's go and check on the iron. Yeah, that's done. That's done. So yeah, our iron down here is getting pretty low now. So we're going to have to expand and get a new iron patch fairly soon. It's still going, that's fine. That one's almost done. Let's just chuck some more of these down. Let's move these over. Start this side, so yeah, one there, one there, that should cover all of them. Now, just making sure that I'm getting all of this iron covered. Trying to do it as efficiently as possible as well. Just normal transport belts. merge it onto here. And let's chuck these down, that'll do. Excellent. And power these guys. Okay, so that's that pretty much completely tapped out now. Where else can we get iron from? There's a little tiny bit over there, and there's quite a big bit over there, and quite a bit there as well. So I think we'll probably set the next one up over that way. And I'm going to need to get the train station set up before I do that properly, I think. So we should have enough iron to keep us going until our train station is going. So that should be fine. And really need some lights down this bit. Yeah, so that guy there is not loading, but that's because that's full. Let's hop on this train and go up and see what's going on. I need to reconnect that iron up as well at some point, because there's still a fair amount of iron ore down there. Okay, let's jump out. Yeah, so all of these guys are unloading. Let's have a quick look. And yeah, these aren't unloading because that's just full of ore. So let's just grab some of this. Might be worth upgrading these to provider chests, and then setting up a few requester chests to help load this belt up a bit. But in the short term, I'm just going to manually move some of this over here. Okay, so welcome back, and yeah, just to really test this out and sort of put it to the limit, done what I said. I'll just put some requester chests there and some provider chests on here. So I've just got robots loading these up, and these fast inserters basically making sure the belt is completely filled up. So this belt is at full capacity now. So if we run it all the way over to here where it's splitting, and then we can see with this belt at full capacity, just the one belt, it can feed this many furnaces. So we can maybe ignore these top ones. No, it's going through. So it's not quite feeding all of them. So that's pretty much as good as it's ever going to get. So if we can keep that belt full, this is all the furnaces that will be used. So if we want to use more furnaces, basically what we need to do is have 2 input belts. So that's something we definitely need to do. So I think maybe we'll have... it's going to be the best way to do it. We're going to have more than one train stop, I think, for ores. So we'll maybe have 2 for iron, 2 for copper, and then we'll merge them and then split them again. So basically it's just going to make sure that it's evenly split between these 2. So we'll merge them and then have 2 belts coming out. So 2 belts going in, being merged together, and then being split back out again. I know it doesn't sound like it makes a lot of sense, but it basically mean that if I have, say for example, 2 copper trains, and one of them isn't bringing in as much ore as the other, I'll basically add it all together and then split it evenly between these 2 sets of furnaces here. So that's something that we're going to have to consider when we build this train setup here. So we're going to have 2 input belts, so one for this side, one for this side, which I thought might be the case. I thought this might be too many furnaces for one belt to be able to support, but it's not too far off. That's not too bad actually, that it goes all the way up to there. And to be honest, I could probably live with that. I could just take this top bit out, like maybe the top 6 furnaces on each side, but we'll see how it goes. Maybe leave it there. see what happens when we set up our train system, because I didn't want the train system to be a massive bulky thing either. So if we can keep it to the single belts, that would be great. Let's see what the production's like. So yes, iron production's up to 2,300-ish. Copper's up to about 2,000. So yeah, that's not too bad. I still don't know why the copper's not loading up as quickly. Let's put a few more of these down. Let's take that one up, that's fine. I was thinking about using logistics robots to unload and load things, but that means logistics robots are constantly tied up just moving resources around, and it's not great for frame rates either, to be honest. So yeah, I prefer not to use them too much. Plus I kind of like having the belts around. I like seeing things move around and stuff. It's pretty cool. Actually, let's move all of that crap as well, so it's all going into one storage area. Let's have another quick look at the production. Yeah, so I'd say our realistic cap is going to be about 2,300, 2,400 for copper and iron production per minute. And I don't think we're going to get much more out of it than that at this stage. And all of this is still looking okay. Yeah, it's all good. It's all getting stuff. Let's see how our production modules and stuff are getting on. Do 23 of them, that's cool. 18 of them and 18 of them. And I'm sort of backlogged now because I haven't got enough alien artifacts. So there's 2 in there, so that'll make 2 more. That's going to make 1 more. And then we start making the productivity and speed 2s and efficiency 2s, and then it'll make the 1s. Yeah, just set limits on them as well. So that's cool. So yeah, I think that's going to be about it for today. We've upgraded massively our smelting capacity. Still a few tweaks, but that's going to basically come on the input, which is going to come from the trains anyway. So once we get the train station sorted out, which I think we'll do next episode, we should be good to go. Then we can sort of push for some of the really end game stuff and really make the factory quite a lot bigger. So yeah, until then, take care. See you later. Bye bye.